get to the news. Russian President Vladimir Putin is reportedly expected to formally declare war this week on Ukraine. Really, now? Putin's like the guy who's been dating the same woman for 6 months but refuses to say girlfriend. Ukraine has its own dresser drawer in your apartment. You're at war. President Biden last week named Karine Jean-Pierre as the next White House press secretary, which makes her the first black woman and openly gay person to hold the position. So she's going to spend a lot of time at the podium saying, no, I mean questions about world events. The Biden administration issued a warning over the weekend that the country may see 100 million coronavirus infections this fall and winter unless we as a nation commit to going out and catching it this summer instead. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell said in a new interview that the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade could pave the way for a national ban on abortion. On the bright side, Mexico might finally pay for a wall. At a rally held by former President Trump last week, Pennsylvania Republican Senate candidate Dr. Mehmet Oz was repeatedly booed by the crowd. In his defense, that's just how Pennsylvania says hello. The CDC announced over the weekend that it's investigating a recent coronavirus outbreak on a Carnival cruise ship. That might be the shortest investigation ever conducted. It's a cruise ship, you say? Well, I think we've figured out your problem. U2's Bono and The Edge held a surprise concert yesterday at a subway station in Ukraine. If you're curious how it went, check your iTunes. It's already in there. They probably didn't think that decision would have such a long tail. Is that a decade? It's like a decade ago now. What's the worst that can happen? They're still making jokes about it 10 years from now. What a good Bono. Good Bono. I feel like you rolled your eyes at me, Wally. And finally, a family in Massachusetts recently rescued a puppy that they found on the side of the road, which was actually a baby coyote. Said the family, I guess it's for the best. It didn't get along with our cat anyway. Thanks to the family who posed for that photo. President Biden today held a bilateral meeting with Italian Prime Minister Mario Draghi to reaffirm the partnership between the two countries, though I think he misunderstood which partnership. President Biden has reportedly told his national security officials that recent press leaks about intelligence sharing with Ukraine need to stop and could further inflame tensions with Russia. So remember, the Ukrainian people have our full support, but if anyone asks, no, they don't. Congressional Republicans are reportedly split over what to do if the Supreme Court officially overturns Roe v. Wade. Apparently, they can't decide between a ticker tape parade or a dance party. I think it's a very fair point, but I understand why it was a huge bummer. The Senate passed a bill yesterday to expand security for Supreme Court justices, and just in time, did you see how close that lunatic got to Clarence Thomas? 150 personal items that belonged to the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg recently sold in an auction for over $800,000, though I think some of Kavanaugh's stuff got mixed in. Authorities in Texas are looking for a man who allegedly burglarized a home and then mowed the front and back lawns before fleeing the scene. Police describe the suspect as your dad. A dog that escaped from a yard in Brooklyn over a week ago was spotted swimming in the East River, then walking through the Battery Tunnel before he was rescued from the parking lot of a Home Depot in New Jersey. Though I'm not sure rescued is the right word. It sounds more like he was apprehended. Who told you where to find me? Authorities in Nevada have reported finding several sets of human remains over the last week in Lake Mead as water levels drop amid an ongoing drought. On the upside, the mafia is now very invested in stopping climate change. Artist Andy Warhol's silkscreen portrait of Marilyn Monroe sold yesterday at auction for $195 million and at Old Navy for $6. And finally, Starbucks added a new drink to its menu today, which is cold brew coffee topped with chocolate foam and sweetened with vanilla syrup. It's also their first drink to come with the bathroom key. President Biden spoke today in Illinois about his administration's plan to support farmers, although I feel like he should be asking about their plan to support him. Do you guys got one of those Charlotte's Web spiders that could write something nice about me? While speaking yesterday at the White House about the steps he's taking to curb inflation, President Biden acknowledged the Democrats, quote, control all three branches of the government. Oh, so you are aware. It's like hearing a 6-year-old say Genesis was better with Peter Gabriel. Definitely. We just didn't know you knew. Bill Gates announced yesterday that he has tested positive for a breakthrough case of the coronavirus. Gates says he probably got the virus because he forgot to install McAfee. That's right. Bill Gates has tested positive for coronavirus, so for now, he's just going to attend meetings on Zoom. Oh, I mean Microsoft Teams. We love Microsoft Teams, everybody. A House Intelligence Subcommittee is set next week to hold the first open congressional hearing on UFOs. Oh, come on. How many times are you going to make him testify? According to newly released audio from an interview after the Capitol attack, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham praised President Biden and said he's the, quote, best person to have in office. And then today he said, I'm gonna let that go to voicemail. Actor James Cromwell superglued himself to the counter of a Starbucks in New York yesterday to protest the chain charging more for plant-based milks. While over at Dunkin', you kind of just stick to the counter naturally. Thank you very much. Two unoccupied beach houses in North Carolina recently fell into the ocean, or as the realtor put it, 360-degree ocean views. A rat ran onto the field during last night's New York Mets game. A staff member quickly caught it and, out of habit, tossed it to a kid in the front row. Hi, baseball rat. I got a baseball rat. And finally, an alligator was recently spotted in the drive-thru of a fast food restaurant in North Carolina. But this is annoying. He had no idea what he wanted. Let's go! Let's go, you're holding up the line! In his new book, ex-Defense Secretary Mark Esper writes that despite his hatred of press leaks, former President Trump was, quote, the biggest leaker of all. Said Trump, well, that's the last time I show him the Area 51 aliens. Oh, damn it. President Biden criticized Republicans at a fundraiser last night for their recent attacks on Disney and said, quote, they're going to storm Cinderella's castle before this is over. Oh, buddy, I hate to tell you, if they're storming anything, it's the Hall of Presidents. Also, that's me, right? I mean, imagine finding, that's how I found out I was a president. President Biden told a small gathering at a Democratic fundraiser last night that it's going to be hard to maintain the majority in both houses of Congress, especially since they don't have it in the first place. Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema appeared on the Senate floor yesterday wearing a pink tie-dyed shirt that said no thanks. I don't know what that means, except that Arizona elected a senator who only shops at airports. Even weirder, Bernie Sanders was wearing this. I need it. I don't know what to tell you. I need it. I'm not going to apologize. Mama needs wine. President Biden today called Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to congratulate him on winning the Philippine presidential election. Said Biden, remember, winning is the easy part. The hard part is convincing everybody that you actually won. While speaking yesterday to thousands of union electrical workers, President Biden referred to former President Trump as, quote, the great MAGA king. Okay, can we please not give him any more ideas? North Korea reported its first coronavirus outbreak today and ordered all cities and counties to enter a lockdown, or as they call it, business as usual. New York Mayor Eric Adams said on Tuesday that his official residence, Gracie Mansion, is haunted and added, quote, I don't care what anyone says, there are ghosts in there. I don't think that's who's booing you. According to a new study, the top 3 baby names that are set to make a comeback this year are Joan, Mary, and Margaret, which is also a full curse in a Catholic household. Oh, Joan, Mary, and Margaret! And I stubbed me toe. So, Beeler, I've gotten a little bit of criticism recently about my really good Irish accent. And finally, the New York State Lottery announced yesterday that the results of Tuesday's drawing were published with the wrong Mega Ball number, and things are pretty awkward at the house that thought they won. Honey, I was joking about the divorce. That was, ha ha, it's me. That's when I'm funny. That was a monologue, everybody.